The match between England and Norway in the quarterfinals of the 2026 FIFA World Cup was nothing short of a football masterpiece, delivering relentless drama, breathtaking moments, and non-stop tension from the opening whistle until the end of regulation time. Played under the blazing lights of the magnificent Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, Florida, this heavyweight European showdown lived up to every bit of the enormous pre-match hype. With a coveted place in the FIFA World Cup semifinals on the line, both nations stepped onto the pitch fully aware that one unforgettable performance could bring them within touching distance of football's greatest prize. England, guided by manager Thomas Tuchel, entered the contest as slight favorites thanks to their tactical discipline, squad depth, and wealth of international experience. The Three Lions arrived with immense confidence after an impressive tournament campaign and hoped to impose themselves early against a physically powerful and determined Norwegian side, led by superstar striker Erling Haaland. However, Norway had already proven throughout the tournament that they were far more than just underdogs. Their fearless attacking style, disciplined organization, and incredible fighting spirit had earned them a place among the final 8 teams in the world, and they had absolutely no intention of allowing England an easy passage to the semifinals. The atmosphere inside Hard Rock Stadium was simply spectacular. More than 60,000 passionate supporters created an unforgettable backdrop as fans from across the globe filled every seat. With the United States already eliminated from the tournament, thousands of American football fans enthusiastically adopted either England or Norway for the evening, creating an electric environment that echoed throughout the stadium. The intense Miami heat and suffocating humidity made conditions extremely challenging for both squads, with the real field temperature climbing above 42 degrees Celsius. Every sprint, every challenge, and every attacking move demanded extraordinary physical effort. From the very beginning, England looked determined to establish complete control. Thomas Tuchel's tactical plan was immediately visible as the Three Lions dominated possession, patiently circulating the ball while forcing Norway deep into their own defensive territory. Jude Bellingham orchestrated play brilliantly from midfield. Declan Rice protected the defensive line with his trademark composure, and Harry Kane constantly dropped into deeper positions to connect the attack. Anthony Gordon quickly emerged as England's most dangerous attacking weapon. His explosive pace down the left wing repeatedly troubled Norwegian fullback Julian Ryerson. Time after time, Gordon burst past defenders before whipping dangerous crosses into the penalty area. England looked increasingly likely to break the deadlock as wave after wave of pressure pinned Norway inside their own half. The best opportunity of the opening half arrived when Gordon delivered another dangerous low cross directly into the heart of the penalty area. Jude Bellingham arrived perfectly at the penalty spot, but under heavy pressure he failed to make clean contact with the ball. The chance slipped agonizingly wide, leaving England wondering how they had failed to capitalize on their dominance. Norway, meanwhile, remained remarkably patient. Rather than panicking under sustained pressure, they stayed compact defensively, absorbed every English attack, and patiently waited for opportunities to strike on the counterattack. Their discipline would soon be rewarded in spectacular fashion. The entire momentum of the match shifted dramatically in the 36th minute. England captain Harry Kane attempted to shield possession near the center circle before Patrick Berg produced a perfectly timed tackle to dispossess him. Believing the challenge to be illegal, nearly every English player stopped playing and raised their arms toward French referee Clément Turpin, appealing for a free kick instead of continuing the action. Norway reacted instantly. Within seconds, the ball was moved rapidly toward Andreas Schjelderup, who found acres of space racing down the left wing. With England's defense completely caught out of position, the talented winger drove toward the edge of the penalty area before cutting sharply inside onto his stronger foot. What followed was a moment of pure brilliance. Schjelderup unleashed a powerful curling effort that bent beautifully through the humid Miami air. Jordan Pickford launched himself desperately across goal, but the shot proved unstoppable. The ball smashed against the inside of the far post before bouncing into the back of the net. The Norwegian supporters erupted into wild celebrations as England stood frozen in disbelief. Having spent most of the opening half defending, Norway suddenly held a priceless 1-0 advantage. The goal completely transformed the rhythm of the contest. England looked shaken, while Norway's confidence skyrocketed. Erling Haaland and Alexander Sørloth began combining brilliantly in transition, exposing gaps that had barely existed earlier in the match. Every Norwegian attack suddenly looked dangerous. One of the game's defining defensive moments soon followed. A devastating Norwegian counterattack created a 2-against-1 situation that seemed certain to produce a second goal. Sørloth carried the ball forward before looking for Haaland, who waited completely unmarked inside the box. Fortunately for England, John Stones produced an exceptional recovery run, perfectly positioning himself to block Sørloth's eventual shot. Haaland threw his arms into the air in frustration as another golden opportunity disappeared. Just when England appeared destined to enter halftime trailing, one moment of world-class quality completely changed the story. Deep into first-half stoppage time, Anthony Gordon once again accelerated down the left flank before delivering another dangerous low cross toward the edge of the area. This time, Jude Bellingham refused to let the opportunity escape. The Real Madrid superstar calmly collected the ball, took 2 composed touches to evade an incoming defender, and then whipped an unstoppable right-footed finish across goalkeeper Ørjan Nyland into the far corner. It was a breathtaking strike worthy of football's biggest stage. The traveling England supporters exploded with joy as Bellingham sprinted toward the corner flag in celebration. His magnificent equalizer sent both teams into halftime level at 1-1 after an opening 45 minutes packed with drama, controversy, and unforgettable moments. The second half began with Thomas Tuchel making bold tactical adjustments. Recognizing the brutal physical conditions, England introduced Bukayo Saka and Eberechi Eze to inject fresh energy into the attack, while Declan Rice was forced off after struggling with illness throughout the match. However, instead of England regaining control, Norway produced arguably their finest football of the entire tournament. The Scandinavian side completely dominated the opening stages of the second half. Corner after corner rained into the English penalty area as Norway overwhelmed England with relentless aerial pressure. The normally composed English defense began showing visible signs of fatigue under the constant bombardment. In the 55th minute, Norway thought they had reclaimed the lead. Julian Ryerson delivered a dangerous in-swinging corner that caused complete chaos inside the 6-yard box. Alexander Sørloth fired a thunderous effort that Jordan Pickford somehow managed to save from point-blank range. The rebound then fell kindly to Thorstvedt Hegem, who stretched desperately to poke the ball into the net. The Norwegian players celebrated wildly, but the celebrations were short-lived. The video assistant referee identified an earlier incident before the corner had even entered play. Television replays showed Erling Haaland forcefully pushing Elliot Anderson to the ground while battling for position inside the box. Referee Clément Turpin was called to the pitchside monitor. After reviewing the footage, he ruled that the foul occurred before the ball officially entered play, meaning the goal had to be disallowed. Instead of awarding England a free kick, Norway was instructed to retake the corner. It was one of the most unusual and controversial VAR decisions of the entire World Cup. England had survived by the narrowest possible margin. The drama did not stop there. Soon afterward, television broadcasters revealed another controversial incident that had gone unnoticed during England's equalizing goal. Replays appeared to show goalkeeper Ørjan Nyland's earlier long clearance striking one of the overhead stadium camera cables before England regained possession. According to the laws of the game, play should have been stopped immediately if the ball had contacted an outside object. The revelation sparked heated debate throughout the stadium and across social media, with many Norwegian supporters believing they had been unfairly denied. Determined to finally find the winning goal, Norway introduced exciting young stars Oscar Bob and Antonio Nusa, immediately increasing the tempo once again. Their fresh legs caused enormous problems for England's tiring defense. Then came another agonizing near miss. In the 76th minute, Antonio Nusa produced a dazzling run down the left before earning yet another corner. Jordan Pickford came off his line to punch clear, but his clearance lacked distance and landed perfectly for Ursons. Without hesitation, Ursons floated a beautiful cross back into the crowded penalty area. David Müller-Wolf rose highest. His looping header sailed over Pickford and looked destined for the top corner. The entire stadium held its breath. Instead, the ball crashed violently against the crossbar before bouncing away to safety. England had escaped once again. As the final minutes ticked away, Norway continued pushing relentlessly for a winner, while England relied on disciplined defending, determined clearances, and remarkable resilience to survive wave after wave of Scandinavian attacks. Every tackle became crucial. Every clearance was celebrated. Every second felt like an eternity. Finally, after an exhausting 90 minutes played under brutal Miami heat and suffocating humidity, referee Clement Turpin brought regulation time to an end. The scoreboard remained locked, with neither side able to find the decisive breakthrough. England had shown tremendous character to withstand Norway's relentless second-half assault, while Norway could only wonder how they had failed to convert their dominance into victory. After one of the most dramatic, controversial, and emotionally charged quarterfinals of the FIFA World Cup 2026, the battle for a place in the semifinals was still far from over. With both teams physically exhausted but refusing to surrender their World Cup dream, this unforgettable contest headed into a tense and unpredictable period of extra time, where one defining moment would ultimately decide who would continue their journey toward football immortality.